I unmute myself. All right, let's call this one to order, folks. Welcome to the July 27th Lakeshore Hospital Authority meeting. Do we have any staff or trustee additions or deletions to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to have a discussion about the August 10th trustee meeting, next month's meeting, if I may.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's an addition. So not now. We got to do it on the new business. Thanks, I don't forget it. Moving. All right. We'll move on to adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we adopt the agenda for the special meeting July 27, 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That is adopted. Move on to our public comments. Ms. Lindley.
I've been up here, good afternoon, board, all people involved. I've been coming in front of you guys for 5+ years. And this board is and has been operating outside the enabling legislation for over 4 years. Ever since there wasn't a board member and the county took over and then it came back to you guys. This board approved the LEAP program with the Florida Gateway College. In order for that to be, to me, legitimate, you have to be a healthcare provider. You guys do not provide any kind of healthcare. You pay for something, but you don't provide it. And if you read the stuff, you would see that you're not a provider. But that doesn't matter to you guys. Not once has this board asked this attorney or the prior board attorney for a AG opinion. Because as all of you guys know, the enabling legislation says one board member will be a practicing physician at the hospital. There is not a hospital and there will never be another hospital, hopefully by this authority. But you guys have never asked Kenan or Coberline for an AG opinion to see if you guys are within the bounds. And you guys just continue operating as which you all do. You do whatever you want to do, just like the link. You're not a provider. And you're like a child who doesn't listen. And you guys keep doing the same old thing. Ask yourself and do the right thing. And disband yourself. A straw ballot was voted on by this board, by the county, to disband. You guys totally disregarded this. I've talked with Chuck Brandon and he doesn't want to deal with it. And I doubt very seriously if his son gets elected, he'll deal with it either to dissolve. You have to start something up maybe in September, so it may be considered in the spring. You should be ashamed of yourself by continuing to operate without asking an AG opinion. You guys need to make a opinion and have Mr. Kenan see if you guys are in compliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lindley. Any other public comments? See anybody online?
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Perfect. I have a motion for approving the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. On to our first item of new business. Discussion and possible approval, the Rural Health Initiative, Improved Nutrition Memorandum of Understanding.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Williams.
Mr. Chairman. You may recall in June, we had a couple of visitors, Stephanie and Tanzania. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Good. And they basically were able to speak briefly, told you sort of what their interest was. They are looking for an MOU, which will help them with their program. And I think they would like to make a presentation to you tonight.
Perfect.
Ladies, you're up.
Yes.
A couple of seconds to get all boards working.
Okay.
We do, are asking for a memorandum of understanding. Our application required a clinical partner. So we've got lots of community partners already in, and we are reaching out to all of the, clinical partners in the area to request this partnership agreement. So we would refer people that we come upon in our program to you or your clinics, and then, vice versa, if you had somebody in your, need area that was lacking of nutrition and health, you would refer them to our classes, so we're gonna be teaching classes. So basically, the MOU is what we're needing. I did a very quick PowerPoint on what this initiative it is. We were supposed to hear actually today back, we don't even know if we're awarded it, so our partnership for this relies on the award if they fund the grant that we applied for, so hopefully we'll get it, but I don't know. It's called the, Northeast Rural Health, Nutrition and Wellness Initiative. So we're gonna serve 400 unduplicated rural residents. That's quite a mighty lift, but we are extending outside of Lake City into the surrounding counties. CHW is a community health worker, so we're gonna hire 2 community health workers to lead nutrition educations and healthy cooking classes. We're gonna be doing these screenings, wellness screenings and referrals. Our overall program goals are to improve nutrition, knowledge, healthy eating behaviors, and food resource utilization. We want to increase preventative wellness and strengthen rural health and nutrition infrastructure through these clinical health worker. The workforce development is we're hiring 2 new people that will add to your workforce development at that level. These are the counties we're going to serve. Low-income adults and families are our target population, older adults, food insecure residents, and individuals with chronic disease risk factors. This is the overall program model. We're gonna start with outreach, enrollment, education, screening for support, navigation, referrals, and follow-up. Very simple. We're gonna do the healthy cooking education. We're gonna have a nutritionist oversee these 2 community health workers. We're gonna have cooking demonstrations, meal planning and budgeting along with the 2 classes. The BMI, the blood pressure, and the sugar screens are gonna be done by us. Referrals for SNAP and WIC are gonna be a part of that, as well as food pantry referrals.
And we already have a partnership with Food Pantry.
Excellent. This is our staffing structure, 2 community health workers, program manager, be a little bit of Tanzania. We're gonna have a contracted nutritionist. And then we're having an evaluation done by University of Central Florida, South Florida is the one giving us the curriculum. And they're gonna do a program overview for the quality of it. Our anticipated impact is to access expanded nutrition education and resource navigation, health outcomes, of course, to improve nutrition and knowledge and preventative behaviors. We're going to expand these 2 new positions in your community, so hiring seasoned people. And economic benefits are that stronger referral networks and reduced avoidable utilization should occur. This is a part of Make Rural America Healthy Again, $210 million. You can see the rest of that. That's a part of our application, we had to put those bullet points in. All right, that's it. That's it. Thank you. Attached also was the curriculum. It's 2 sessions they need to attend. So the ones who actually come through the classes, they're going to be taking 2 4-hour classes on how to eat healthier, how to grocery shop healthier, how to make your dollar go, and then the cooking classes are kind of folded in that as well.
Okay.
I have a question. Where will the classes be held?
Oh,
Yep, so we have an office in Lake City. Oh.
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
We have an office in Lake City.
You've been in my office.
I know where she is. You know, my question, having dealt with low income tenants and having worked with the foster care system, a lot of these people don't know how to cook. Maybe they can read, maybe not. So is there a place you guys can actually demonstrate someone how to cook something, how to make a chuck roast on Sunday and make it last till soup on Saturday?
It's definitely built in, yep. Very basic cooking.
But you got very basic people around here. A lot of them are basic.
That's the start of it.
I wish you would.
Thank you. And if anybody is new, I think I may have mentioned this last week, but we have been in this community for a very long time. I've worked for this agency for 15 years in Columbia County. We did the transitional housing for homeless veterans, off Blake Jeffrey. As well as the 811 program, persons with mental health disorders, and providing case management to those individuals as well. So this is kind of what, what we do. We're in the business of helping people, vulnerable adults. So
You said you had a thing with the food pantry already. Who's the food pantry?
Shannon, Moser at Cafeterias.
Okay. Any other questions, thoughts from the board?
And we're also members of the COC, with United Way.
1 second, I'm getting to you, Ms. Brown. All right, well, I think we're good. Before we do any discussion from the board, I was gonna open it up, get some more public comments. I'm trying to do it in order, so bear with me. I'm gonna
Thank
bring
you.
Barbara up here, but thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Public comments, are there any public, Ms. Lemon?
My question is to them.
I know, but just it's public comments.
Having dealt with people who don't know how to cook and live in a motel,
Yes,
maybe they can show them how to use a crock pot, a burner. Because some of these people, they may end up in a motel room and you have a sink and that's it. Maybe a refrigerator, possibly a microwave. But they need to expand the use of appliances for these people who don't have anything. And I'm not sure what they're gonna do about the people that live in the woods. Literally the woods.
it's true. It's a thought. Any other public comments? Before we do that, okay. Any thoughts from the board?
Two thoughts I had were.
Yes, sir.
One is confirming there's absolutely no financial obligation. It's just it would be if staff identified somebody, there could be a referral. So we would need to ensure that neither now nor down the road, there would be any financial impact. Number one, and then number two, you'll have to be, our participation, if y'all decide to participate, would be the Columbia County residents only, according to our enabling legislation.
Fair enough. Those two things doable? Sound reasonable?
Have to meet the requirements. The individual would have.
Yeah,
to meet
the individuals that, if we offer them service, they have to meet our plan, right, recommendation, or, guidelines, which I think we're redoing a little bit, but. I don't
Fairly
know
simple.
how many of if they're veteran focused, how many would apply for veteran benefits versus outside of veteran benefits. So I don't know what the potential pool would be.
This would be civilian.
Civilian and veteran.
Everybody.
So say, yeah, I thought it was that, okay. So I can entertain a motion to do that as long as it hits those two.
And probably the last thing, just based on the presentation, it'd be contingent on them receiving the grant. And if they didn't receive the grant, then no reason to continue forward.
Well, let me ask you this, do you have to get, look, what's first, the chicken or the egg, the memorandum of understanding or the grant?
Well, we've already submitted it, but we put in our submission that this was pending a board meeting, and so. I expect follow-up to come, and once we get the follow-up, if we can have that already on the books, then we've met that minimum requirement. It is a requirement for us to get funding.
Okay. So it is a requirement. So, all right.
If we have a loved one, can we pay for cooking lessons? Don't tell my wife that.
Barbara said she'd volunteer.
I'll just tell her to listen to the report.
You don't have to, I'll tell her.
Thanks.
And I'll be emailing her my card.
There we go.
Big drive for a bunch of air fryers, so we're gonna have like the air fryer giveaway as a part of coming to the class.
See that, Barbara? I hit the nail on the head right there. Got the appliance thing solved.
A hot plate.
Chair, I'd
We're gonna have hot dogs.
like to make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding for the Rural Health Initiative and Improved Nutrition. As long as it meets the qualifications that our attorney has set forth.
And does that need to be contingent on them receiving it as well, Tom?
We can, I mean, if we can enter into the memorandum, but then be contingent that if they were not awarded the grant, the memorandum would be rescinded without further action, just by virtue of the minutes. And then any person that we would be able to assist would have to meet our eligibility requirements, fill out all the paperwork before we could do anything.
Okay.
And it would just be the Columbia
Town
County
residents.
residents, not the other 5 mentioned here.
If somebody comes in from Hamilton County and picks up a brochure, we're not gonna take it back from them. We can let them have it.
Throw them out.
They just can't apply to the program.
Right. That's the second Mr. Bill's motion.
Excellent. We have a,
Oh, I'm
We had a
sorry.
question.
Miss Chancey.
Does it mean for somebody to qualify as a resident of Columbia County if they live in Mineral Woods?
I'm not sure what that is off the top of my head, but what our residency requirements are.
It's an excellent question.
But I think we're talking about two different things, our requirements versus their
Yeah,
requirements.
I guess my point is
They be in Columbia.
Columbia
if
County
they
residents.
understand that if they refer somebody to us and they cannot establish residency for our requirements, then they just cannot be eligible to participate in our program.
Which goes back to what qualifies Columbia County.
But I don't, is
I don't know
that,
what the-
is that outlined in the MOU about us qualifying somebody that they refer to us? I mean, obviously they would have to meet
That's not the
our,
way I interpret.
they would have to meet our standard, our
Basically,
qualifying.
We would, in good faith effort, refer people that we think qualify for each other's program, but then they're gonna have to meet the requirements of that program in order to be qualified.
So we don't have to worry about residency, they do.
And if anybody applies for our program, they're gonna have to
No,
qualify.
we do.
The way I understand it, if somebody comes in, they're part of our program.
Yeah.
Then if they have literature available, then they can have that literature. We essentially refer them to their wellness program. If they identify someone that's approached them for their wellness program and references, I don't have insurance, I need medical treatment, they would refer them to the authority. And then at that point, if they met our plan requirements, we would hope to be able to sign them up.
Okay,
You know, if they didn't, then.
I just asked for clarification, but you know what I'm thinking.
I know what you're thinking, yeah.
Because there are, like Barbara said, people that live in Woods, and they're here this month, next month they're in Hamilton County, and they bounce around. Okay, we all know that happens. We would like to think it doesn't, but it does. And we need stuff. I don't care where the residency is.
That Walmart cart goes everywhere.
Yeah,
Okay, but yes, I get what you're saying. So I have a motion and a second to adopt a memorandum of understanding as so explained to us by Mr. Beal. All those in favor say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, ladies. We'll move on to our next item on the request for approval, the renewal of the U.S. Treasury note. Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think all of the trustees are aware that all of the cash assets of the authority are invested in T-bills. This is our treasury notes. This is our investment policy. We have a block of those notes. It's a little over 4.6 million. that will expire the 31st of July. So this is a request for the trustees to renew those T-bills on the 31st. The yield will be 3.97%. This is the recommendation of Mr. Powell, who typically is who provides recommendations regarding this, but was unable to be with us tonight. So we're simply keeping the treasury notes, we're just renewing them, and we're renewing them at a higher yield than the original yield. So at this time, I would ask your approval.
Are these 1 year, or is this an annual?
We are renewing it 12 months, yes, ma'am, 1 year, so you'll get to visit this, or somebody will get to visit this again in about a year.
Okay. I make a motion that we renew the treasury notes.
I was gonna say, do it, like, any public comments? Sorry, real quick, we were moving fast there. I was like, I'm with you, Ms. Chancey. Any public comments on this? Thoughts, feelings? Okay. Back to you, Ms. Chancey. You were going to renew these?
I make a motion that we renew those treasury notes requested.
Okay.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion to renew the US Treasury notes per Mr. I forget it. Powell's recommendation. A motion and a second for the following 12 months. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item, discussion and acknowledgement of receipt, Lakeshore Hospital Authority Annual Financial Report. Mr. Williams.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is a two-parter. One is I will request a motion, and secondly, I need to ask if you would like a presentation. But we, as a public entity, are required to have an annual audit. That annual audit is complete, and by law, it must be complete by June 30th. I'm representing to you, this audit was complete by June 30th. The auditors did do a review and an exit interview with me prior to June 30th. You are not tonight acknowledging you agree with anything in the audit. You're just acknowledging that it was received on time, and it has since been filed with the Auditor General in Tallahassee. So if I may, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask the trustees to acknowledge receipt of the audit prior to June 30th of this year.
Okay. Public comment? All right. So do we not do this with a motion here, or do we need a motion for
I was
this?
just doing a motion to
Motion
confirm
to
the
accept.
acknowledgement of the audit report in the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025.
All right.
Make a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the 2025 fiscal year ended 2020, September 30th, 2025 auditor's report. Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Beal. Got a motion by Mr. Beal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to acknowledge the receipt of the Hospital Authority Financial Report from June 30th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Second part, Mr. Chairman, we
Yes, sir.
will post a copy of this on the Lakeshore Hospital Authority website. But I need to ask, would you like one of the auditors to come and present this to you at one of your meetings? Or are you comfortable with reading this? It is a good audit, I will tell you.
Mr. Beal.
Somewhere in here, I'm trying to find the page where it says that everything is in good standing order. If we-
Management letter.
Yeah, so if we could read that aloud, I think that would probably, for me anyways, that would make me want to skip the presentation. I enjoy a good financial audit reading.
I like a good financial audit just like anybody else. Mr. Beal, do you have somebody in mind that you were gonna have read aloud?
No, I just wanted just that one sentence read, so we don't have to read all 50 some odd pages at a later date.
page in there, it'll say unmodified or modified opinion, that's the page you want.
Or who wants that? I guess, all right.
No, we can.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not like.
Is that it?
Only five people.
Management letters required by chapter 10.550.
It's a little bit.
There's a 52.
Republican.
This should be there.
I thought I got it. I think. Oh.
Oh, here it is on page 52. Paragraph 3, in our opinion, the authority complied in all material respects with the aforementioned requirements for the year ending September 30th, 2025.
That not it?
No, that's it. That's
Okay.
what Mr. Bill wanted.
The whole shebang?
Yeah, no, that third paragraph, in our opinion, the authority complied in all material respects with the aforementioned requirements for the year ended September 30th, 2025. Which says that it was a good audit. So I don't think, me personally, I don't think we need somebody to come in and present this to us.
Here, here.
Well, we will post a copy as required on our website, so it'll be available for public inspection.
In addition, on page 51, under additional matters, they were required to analyze for fraud, waste, or abuse. And when they state in connection with our audit, we did not note any such findings.
Right.
And that's the authority has an excellent secretary of treasury.
Basically, I think that's
We can add that, we can add.
That's on
Mr.
page 153.
Yeah, add Mr.
I'm unpaid, I'm like that.
Right.
Well, anytime in the future, should you change your mind, let me need, the auditors will come and the auditors will address any issues on that.
If that was the motion Mr. Bill made, I'll second.
I don't know, do we need a motion?
I don't think we need, I think we read it in, I think it's in the record, we're good. So, unless there's any more comments on it, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah,
You everybody
consensus
good?
is at this time, we don't need a presentation.
Perfect. On to the next item, discussion and approval of the 2026-27 budget.
Chairman, it's that time of the year again. First of all, as required by law, we are required to establish the maximum millage rate for the next fiscal year. This is the rate which is certified to the appraiser. This is the rate that will be shown on the trim notice that go out to each and every property owner. We are recommending, I think for the 5th straight year, that you adopt the millage rate 7th year according to that long, geez, 7 years, 0.0001, which is 1/10,000th of a mil, as being our millage rate. So we would ask for your approval, and that will be the rate that's certified.
Perfect. Public comments? All right, thoughts of the board?
Did you restate 0.0001? Okay.
It's 3 zeros and a 1.
3 zeros and a 1, that's how I remember it.
1/10,000th of 1 mil. It's expected to generate $550 countywide.
Chair,
Throw all that money around. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I'll get a second on this, but I would like to make a motion that we adopt 0.0000
No,
millage
3
rate.
zeros and 1.
I'm doing 4 zeros
Can we
and
go
no
with that?
1.
Let's go with that.
No.
I don't think, things might have changed, but when we first started this, just to remind everyone, it was just a placeholder. Make sure that we didn't lose the concept that this was a taxing authority on the tax bill. And the IRS had told us that that was the most or the least millage we could let. So if we go to 1/100ths of a mil, I'm not so sure that gets on the tax.
I didn't have a one in there. Mine was all zeros.
That's all zero. Well, that's effectively not levying a millage and you'll lose your place on the
That's correct.
tax bill.
That's the purpose.
You wanna rescind it?
I don't, I mean, it may not get a second, but it's my motion. It could die on a hill.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to establish a maximum millage rate of 0.0000 by Mr. Beal. Do we have a second? The motion fails.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we establish the maximum millage rate for the fiscal year 26-27 at 0.0001, which I do believe will be the 7th year in a row.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. There's a motion on the floor to establish a maximum millage rate of 0.0001.
Second,
We have a second by Ms. Chancey. I'll do a roll call vote just in case. Ms. Chancey,
yes.
Mr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. Beal.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Item number 2, Mr. Williams.
Well, even though we don't levy and depend on millage revenue, we do have a budget. And of course, because it's a public budget, it does have millage in it, we go through a certain process in which to adopt it. That will require in the month of September that you hold 2 public hearings. The first hearing will be the 14th, which I believe is our regular meeting day in September. The second one, we kind of have to let other taxing authorities pick their second hearing dates first. Those have now been chosen, and in your agenda packet is a calendar that Sonia provided. And I think we are recommending for the second hearing, what date? 28th of September. And of course, we have to make sure that there's time to meet advertising requirements between the first and second hearing, and those 2 are regulated by state law. So we would like to ask that you designate the 14th and the 28th of September as the first budget hearing and the final budget hearing dates.
And the 14th is the regular monthly meeting, and then 2 weeks later, we can have also an agenda in addition to.
Yes, that would be a special meeting for the sole purpose of conducting the second and final hearing.
Great.
Everyone good with that date?
So far, I'm good.
Please check your calendars. I know you might not have your personal calendar with you, but if there is a problem, we need to let Sonia know as soon as possible.
Okay, Mr. Chair,
Ms. Chancey.
I would like to make a statement.
Sure.
In all the years, the only meetings I've missed have been in the past 2 months. Okay, all the years I've been on the board. The only way I would not come to a meeting right now is if my husband goes down physically. Okay, that is the only way I would not be able to come. So I need to know for this particular meeting that all of you, because that would make a majority or make the minimum we need, right?
As far as I know.
I'll just put it on my calendar.
I
We can do a roll call.
But that's the only
Yes,
way
ma'am.
that I would not come. I want you to know that.
Appreciate that.
I don't know from minute to minute what's happening. But he's been my, 61 years and he's my priority. Thank you.
I can appreciate that, Ms. Chancey. So, I'll entertain a motion then, that being said, for the September 14th and the September 28th. Meetings.
You're gonna,
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
you're gonna do a roll.
I can, but I have to do, he's right, I forgot.
Well,
My eyes and
the
ears say,
28th may
hey,
be in flux,
the 28th. I don't think the 28th is in flux.
he was just saying that if you didn't know from your personal calendar.
Yes, yes, no,
that
I
we
was
would just
saying,
need time to.
if there was any public comment. I forgot, I gotta open up every single item, just in case. Anyone? Public comments closed. All right, now I can entertain the motion.
Yes,
I'm sorry. So, we need a motion in a second. I haven't heard a motion in a second yet.
I'll make a motion that we have our public hearings on September 14th. And if there is no conflict with other agencies, on September the 28th. At which time we have to, by phone, reset the date.
We can do
I'll
that.
second that.
Have a motion and a second to set the first budget and final budget hearing for September 14th and September 28th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, guys. Next item, discussion and possible approval for the additional cost to access LSHA meetings via Zoom. Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think a year ago, the trustees had a conversation regarding our Zoom telecast of our meetings, including outside public participation via Zoom. You indicated you wish to continue that, and at that time, there was no additional cost for doing so. The landscape is changing, and even though it's minimal, because we last said there was no cost to continue Zoom meetings, there will now be a $25 a month cost. So I didn't feel comfortable continuing without letting you know, but I simply need to know if you want to continue the Zoom meetings now that there's an additional monthly cost of $25.
Fair enough. Public comment? Please. Thank you, Ms. Lemon.
This is not a question for Mr. Kinnon. Do these meetings or can these meetings be held quarterly since not a whole lot happens versus monthly?
You don't like coming here? Good, go ahead.
We just have to change our policies and procedures.
Yeah.
Because there's very little.
I'm not
But
sure
if-
the enabling
I
legislation
think
deal.
it's in the
If
legislation.
the enabling legislation.
It states monthly, and also states that if you're not gonna be here, you have to say why you're not gonna be here. But if it's $25 per month for the following year. Is that what the cost would be, $25 per month?
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Any other public comments? All right. Thoughts of the board?
Do they count how many people using?
Yeah, we do tally how many people utilize the Zoom to
There's 3 on right now.
access me. And it varies, Ms. Chauncey. I mean, the bigger the issue on the agenda, the more people will participate, via Zoom.
Mr. Beal.
For discussion purposes, we could still, and this might be for Carl, but we could still broadcast it over YouTube, and I don't believe there's a cost for that. The Zoom allows us to have public participation, which I'm a fan of, but we could still broadcast the meetings, we just we wouldn't be able to have the public participation if we don't use Zoom, is my understanding.
Yeah, if we did the metrics on that, the participation amount would, whatever that metric is, which we rarely get questions, Q&As on the Zoom.
When's the last time we had them?
The last questions, I think it was actually 2 meetings ago, Miss, what's her name?
Stevens.
Yeah, Miss Stevens asked me a handful of questions, but for what it's worth, those were Meridian based and, it's one of those. Does the county board, who knows that? Doesn't the Board of County Commissioners in Columbia County, don't they just broadcast on YouTube? Or do they do Zoom?
They do.
They do Zoom?
They do Zoom, but they. Oh, they don't?
They just broadcast on YouTube, right?
They do it live on YouTube.
Okay.
I think that's
But
what the city
And
does.
and there is no public comments on the city or the county Zoom, right?
We are the only public entity and locally that I'm aware of.
That allows public comment.
Well, yeah, and I think this was just a holdover from COVID.
And yeah, and I remember last year, I'm the one that made the motion that failed about doing away with the public comment. And I think my reason is we have to come to the meetings. So I think if you want to make a public comment, you need to come to the meetings.
Yeah.
So,
If we're gonna collect $550 from the people, we should at least offer them the opportunity to participate at the cost of $300 a year.
We could save that.
Yeah.
but some of them may not be, never mind.
They all got a phone, they can.
Okay.
Please understand, this was never about $300. This was about making sure that I corrected what you previously thought was the case. So there was no additional charge when you approved it before. Now that there is one, I felt obligated to let you know.
Fair enough.
Well, I think the precedent has been set by other entities in Columbia County. So I think the YouTube idea is very good.
I'll second that motion. Oh, was that?
I-
Was that a motion?
I will make it a motion that we go with YouTube.
I'll say.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to change from Zoom broadcast to YouTube broadcast for all future meetings. Good luck with that, Carl. Mr. Beal, thought?
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Carl, can we broadcast it live on YouTube? We have the capabilities of doing that. I know the city and county do, but I just want to make sure we can. Okay.
Fair enough. So the motion and the second are available. All those in favor,
Roll call.
we'll do a roll call. Ms. Chancey,
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Beal.
No.
All right. Mr. Bullard.
No.
All right, motion fails.
So.
Oh, wait, no, is it up to me?
Yeah.
That's right, I forgot about that. Yes, YouTube.
Good.
Motion passes.
Cheapskate.
Forgot about that. No. Easy peasy. I forget that's Jerry way of messing with me.
It took a year.
Took a year, but we did it. Way to go, Brandon. Sorry, I'm having too much fun here.
Yeah.
All right, next item, review and approval for the recommended list of qualified general contractors for the LSHA primary care facility, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a reminder to the board, you have already approved the remodel and renovation of what we call the PT building, which is the single-story building immediately north of the hospital, into a primary care facility, which will be owned by the authority or whoever the authority may ultimately be transferred to. We went through a selection process and we selected Palms Medical to be the operator of that facility. They're also acting as the project manager for the renovations on behalf of the authority. We discussed and we have now completed a request for proposals where we were pre-qualifying general contractors who would be allowed to actually bid on the renovation. So we're completing a set of specs and plans. Those specs and plans will be sent to the contractors that we approve tonight. They will be asked to submit a sealed bid for performing that work. The RFP responses numbered 6. We received 6 responses to our request for proposals for general contractors for pre-qualification. There were 4 reviewers of those 6 responses. The reviewers were the chair of the trustees, Mr. Douglas. They were Ms. Rember, Anita with Palms Medical. They were Richard Powell, and they were myself. I ended up tabulating the score sheets, and I did it in 2 different ways. One is I did it by numerical average. However, sometimes when you do numerical averages, some person or persons may sometimes score low in categories. in order to get a different outcome. So we also did it on a numerical ranking. The good news is that either way you scored these responses, the pecking order as to how they ranked did not change. So I think the scoring was good, if not great. That's one way that you can check that. Now, having said that, there is a tally and a score sheet in your agenda packet. The number one ranked company was Charles Perry Partners. The number two ranked company was Ulrich. 3 was McLaughlin. 4 was Gilbane. 5 was Decker, and 6 were Gray. The lowest score of all 6 was a 75.25 rating overall. The highest score was a 90.25 rating. Now, I look at the grouping of those scores, and I think the top 4 is what I would recommend that you select to be eligible to bid on our project. So those top 4 would be Charles Perry Partners, Ulrich Construction, McLaughlin Construction, and Gilbane. And I think you're okay with that, Nina?
I prefer to narrow to 3, but.
Yeah, she wanted 3, that's true. I said 4, and I'm only going by the grouping. We're basically taking, anything from 81.25 scored up, and we're leaving out the 2 in the 70s. That's where the grouping come from. But I can certainly live with the 3, but for the reason I just stated, I am recommending 4.
Fair enough. Public comment?
Once the 4 have been selected, will they come in front of the board to discuss what is in their proposal? Will they have to attend some type of pre-bid opening?
Well, there will be a pre-bid on the project, but it will be just like any other ITB. Once the pre-bid is over, they'll have the opportunity to ask questions. Any question asked will be submitted in writing. Any response given to that question will be given in writing. And all 4 or all 3, depending on how many the board picks, will receive those questions and answers where everybody has the same information. Unless there's a error in the apparent low bid, I feel comfortable that any one of the 4 or any one of the 3 would be more than capable to do this project. And in fact, the whole purpose in qualifying them was to ensure that they had the experience and staff necessary to do these types of projects. I don't know that they'll have to come in and justify anything.
Has a deadline been tentatively set for the bid
We're ready.
opening?
I'm ready today. The plans aren't quite complete, so as soon as they are, we will come up with a date for receiving the bids.
You know, in the past, someone got a late bid and you guys accept, it was not something as major as this, but let it happen. Are they gonna have to be hand delivered, FedEx, UPS?
To me, these are standard ITB requirements, which means there will be a specific time and date. And they'll be responsible for getting their sealed bid in by that time and date.
If not, no go.
Yeah, now here at the end of the day, listen, they're in charge.
Yeah,
And I know that you didn't like that before. The simple fact is if that bid spec says they have the right to waive informalities and they want to consider a late bid, they have that right for them.
if you start off accepting late, it may tally through the whole project. Ask Mr. Douglas.
Well, the
I'm gonna
thing,
be late. Well, okay.
well, a day late now is one thing, but 30 minutes late, and then you find out there was a car wreck, they may decide, hey, I wanna waive that requirement.
Well,
But that's
that
their
makes
call.
And other things, when you're waiting for materials, sometimes they may not meet a certain deadline of the project, which Mr. Douglas is well aware of. You know, we can't get it because it's stuck on China boat.
Life happens.
We're gonna try to minimize, delays and long lead items, that's all part of the process. But that could happen.
Yeah.
We were told today that we couldn't repair a backflow preventer until we wait a month to get a part.
That sounds about right.
We were told that just today.
Backflow,
Oh, get ready.
We wanna buy a whole new, or we wanna install a whole new backflow preventer, we can do that.
They got that one sitting on the shelf.
For nominal fee.
No, no problem. Anyway, all right, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms.
if you
Lindley.
ask, say that's just a bunch of garbage to give plumbers a job.
Yeah, it's all part of the game. Any other, any other public comments on this? Okay, all right, thoughts of the board? For what it's worth, I went through all these guys and 1 through 6, and we could close your eyes, flip a quarter, any of these guys could build it. I'm not terribly concerned. I have my list of favorites, but that's why I put numbers beside them. Just
So
Bill.
it wouldn't slow us down going from having 3 or 4. It could be the same,
Well,
same timeline.
It takes time to each of these.
You gotta dig
bids,
through
because
each
you
bid.
See that you start with the apparent low bid, and then you work your way down.
So my question, I mean, do you think it would delay it another month of us receiving it at a meeting from having 4 instead of 3 people bid on it? Companies bid on
No,
it?
I think either way you do it, you're gonna be on the same deliverables plot.
How many days do they usually get their bid?
Oh, that's a question. I would say, I actually, she would know, I was gonna say probably 30.
Probably 60
That
for
was-
this size
yeah.
project.
I mean, it's a build out. We might look at the scope of it and they might say 45, but I think, 30 to 60 is about the average.
So that would put us at the end of September if we did 60.
Well, no, that's when the bids come in.
That's what I'm talking.
Bids still gotta get reviewed.
Yeah.
So then we
And
gotta,
I understand.
yeah,
I am trying to, okay.
See, one of the criteria, Miss Laurie, Dita can speak for herself, we did not discuss these beforehand. But when you're reviewing these proposals, time is important. So we wanted to make sure, at least I did, when I'm scoring them, that I'm scoring these companies that have enough staff, project managers, internal people, that they can handle a number of projects at one time. And so that was important to me for the very reason that you're pointing out. And I'm sure that the other scorers, I saw the chair nodding, he did the same thing.
they can all do it, but it's.
But you're pretty confident with them and it's just a matter of reviewing.
So some of these are considerably larger than others, even though they all do quality work. Some of these would be much slower in getting that project complete.
Yeah,
They're just by virtue of their staffing.
I understand. Joe may have been a trooper, but he was also a journeyman carpenter and a journeyman plumber. Okay?
Yes, please, Ms. Needham, please.
So, to your point though, I think that's part of the bid. So part of the bid may be on how long the project's gonna take.
That's right.
So somebody may be $100,000 more, if they
They should
shorten it by
bring it
45
in,
days.
Yeah,
We may go with something that costs a little bit more, shorter amount of time. So that's one of the possibilities.
part of their requirements will be.
I'm approaching, if we give them so many days, then we figure how long is it gonna take us to review them? And we can get started. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
What happens after that is another story,
Right.
because we all know how that goes.
I will say, we reviewed these within what, 10 days?
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
maybe quicker than that,
And we
through the
did,
4th of July.
yeah, we did these over the.
Thank you for that.
Honestly, these things came in on Thursday.
I wanna think it was
Thursday before the 4th.
Before the 4th, and we had everybody's score sheets back by that next Tuesday.
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
Mr.
King.
Williams, so I understand you're asking for four. For us to select four of these contractors and not three.
I am, but you know, our project manager, and I have to give them the ability to make their point. Anita wants three. I only am picking four because it makes sense with the grouping. I'm being more analytical in my recommendation. Anita is looking at the time and all involved, and the more you get, the more work it's going to be, the more time, that kind of thing.
This is,
It's a partnership, so I'm certainly not trying to usurp our project manager's recommendation. I'm just,
can those be reviewed in 2 weeks? Oh, no.
I think it's easy to do that in 2 weeks.
Yes, yeah.
Somebody's not on vacation.
It's gotta be, usually, it's usually a couple of souls that need to just be
Yeah,
nose down in these things. Plus, the contractors aren't gonna hold their bids forever.
yeah.
But Miss Laurie, I honestly think, from my experience, the bigger issues aren't going to be in the review and getting them back in front of the trustees and all that stuff. It's going to be the internal stuff. You heard Anita speak earlier about total time frame to project completion or substantial completion. Those are gonna be the bigger deals, and that's where you'll probably end up having to make a tougher decision, because,
Yeah.
just as she said, hey, you might can hire company A at this price, but you can hire company B at this price and be done a month earlier.
I think that's also, to my point, doing the three, it kind of narrows it down, you don't have so much variability.
Steve.
With variety comes these.
Yeah, with,
Hang on, Miss Lindley, I'm getting to you. Hang on, I'm getting to you. Miss Chance.
How long does it take to pull one of these together?
The bid?
Well, here's what will happen in steps.
For
Yeah.
this kind of project?
If you're asking me, it would take me probably a minimum of 30 days, and that's going full blast to
Okay,
get it, yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Okay, if it would take 30 days, if we mailed them out sometime this week. 30 days. You can go over them in 2 weeks.
Hang on, let me reiterate that. So 30 to 60 days to put the bid. So the reason they're saying 60 days to put the bid together, because if we press the go button, not all these guys are gonna be able to instantly drop it on a project manager's desk and say, stop everything you're doing and go. So they're gonna need to spool up to do it. So if you give me a green light and I'm one of three that's gonna get this project, yes, I'll go full tilt with 2 APMs, get this thing bid out, get a number back to the client ASAP. But
Not everybody will do it.
not everybody's gonna be able to jump on it that fast. Everybody's
Okay,
busy.
That's what I'm trying to.
What Dale said,
Because
60
if
days,
we
60,
Do it 30 days. Then we could have a decision in September.
we need to bet on 60.
Mhm.
We need to bet on 60. Remember, the plans aren't done.
Yeah, let's make sure we all understand. We have to complete the plans, which we're working on now.
Oh, okay.
Once the plans and
catch
specs
that.
are complete, we're going to call a meeting of the 4 or 3 that we're asking you to approve tonight. We're going to have a pre-bid meeting. We're going to probably ask them some pointed questions and learn from them. You know, if we only give you 30 days to put this together, is that doable? You know, what about 4? We'll ask those pointed questions.
Yes.
And then once we have those answers, we'll put the package together and send it out. I anticipate that probably you're gonna end up having to give 45 to 60 days in order to get the bids back. Because all of them are going to have to go to subcontractors, get their pricing, do all that kind of stuff. It does take some time. So I'm thinking you're gonna be 45 or 60 days once the bid packages go out.
Okay, I've got.
Now, once we get them back, I don't think it's gonna take long at all to review the bids, and, you know, we might need to call a special meeting depending on when that is. It may not hit where we can just wait, or we should maybe wait until our next regular scheduled meeting. But we can do whatever's necessary, and then at that time, we should be able to tell you at bid award when it is, you know, about how much time they're gonna be given for project to start, the notice to proceed, what we're looking at in terms of project completion. We can then tell you any problems that may be identified on the front end, like, I don't know what that would be. Let's say an air conditioning. They may say, look, to get that air conditioned now, takes 6 months. I don't know. It could be something like that.
I understand all that, okay? In your plans, do you have anything unusual that you're looking for? I.e. piping for oxygen? Are you gonna be using oxygen at all?
We'll have tanks, but no,
Okay.
not for the walls. So
Okay,
this, no, we won't have anything special other than sometimes an AC unit, sometimes windows. We've been backed up before on doors.
okay, so your rooms are not gonna have anything that is on the walls.
No
The
locker
equipment that
requirement.
will be mounted, but it won't be any
Does any of the equipment need special,
special ordering.
like electric? Because that's all stuff you can put in the walls coming out.
All plugged in.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. How
We're
many
we're
plugs?
remodeling the whole building, the whole, I mean, all the walls are gonna be removed and rebuilt pretty much, so I mean, it's.
But yeah, but you need to know where to put the electrical
But
wire.
that's
That's
just
the
plans.
plans that they're
That's what we've
doing.
been working on with the plans. It's there.
They'll have it all there. They'll go back, my guess is they're gonna go straight back to studs and then come forward. And probably tear out most of the studs too.
Yeah,
If the hospital's any indication of what this place is in.
6 foot, cause I think that's the code.
Yeah.
It's great feet,
Yeah.
but those, our exam rooms are typically 10 by 10, and there's at least one plug on every wall. So we need 2 plugs in a room, one for the exam light, and one for the otoscope, so that's it.
yeah, okay,
I feel like,
you need another one.
well, we've been operating for a long time too, so I don't know, maybe we do need another one, but.
You put in more than you need, and then when other equipment comes out,
Right, that's what I said, we'll have at least
you're
4.
already there.
We'll have at least 4.
Fire
So-
time.
Each wall.
And there's no other equipment that is put in the wall in any way, shape, or form.
The X-ray equipment,
Well, yeah,
lead line wall. Yeah. I mean, the lead, sometimes that takes a while, but that would be one of the first things they should order.
And any one of these guys, the PMs know that. That's for day one.
and
Yeah.
in the x-ray rooms, you will need electrical
Public-
outlets going through the lead walls.
I think we're already close to that. Miss Lindley, because I know you're itching.
Of course, why not? No, we're doing this for a not-for-profit.
Yes,
And Ms. Rembrandt said, well, that other one might do it faster if it cost $100,000 more. I think this board, due fact, we're doing it basically a not-for-profit. We don't need to spend an extra $100,000 just to get it ready 30 days early for a not-for-profit. Plus, we don't even know what it's going to cost us.
thank you, Miss Lindley. All right, I think we're good with public comment. Any more discussion amongst the board? Thoughts, feelings?
I would like to make a motion that the bids, whatever needs to be done, started.
You gotta pick 3.
We gotta pick 3 or 4, the
Let's
top
do
4.
Yeah,
All right. That's a motion to pick the top 4 on the score sheet.
yes,
All right.
Which would be Mr. Perry, Mr. Ulrich, Mr. McLaughlin, and
Mr. Gilbane.
Gilbane.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. That is they.
With emphasis on question number 8.
All right. Do I have a motion? I didn't see number 8.
Use of local suppliers and subcontractors.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
like that, yeah.
By the way, that was one of.
Yeah, I was about to say, that was, yeah.
That they were scored on.
Yeah.
A willingness to use locals.
So. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and a second by Mr. Kennedy, sorry, by Ms. Chancey and on Mr. Kennedy. To select, Charles Perry Construction, Ulrich Construction, McLaughlin Construction and Gilbane Construction to be the. What is it, the general contractors in the pre-qualifications, or to be the general contractors that we issue intents to bid for the renovation for the Women's Center. All those in favor? PT Center, sorry. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Mr. Williams, if you will make that so. And Mr. Williams, you mentioned too that you wanted to discuss the 8-10 meeting.
Yes, Chairman, our next regularly scheduled trustee meeting is August 10th. That was brought to my attention today. That's also the first day of early voting. There's 2 early voting locations in Columbia County, and we're right next door to one. It being the first day and having some historical knowledge, I think all of you understand kind of what this place looks like at 5 o'clock. First day of voting, lines of people, etc. Parking is already a problem. So the question is, and I do not personally have a preference, but it does seem that there might be some wisdom to change our August 10th meeting to maybe the 17th. That would be the day after early voting ending, that Monday.
I can live with that. Public comments? Okay, I'm just checking those. All right, thoughts of the board.
The third day of early voting, but I think the first Monday, I agree, it'll be crazy.
Poop show.
So I think we should reschedule our meeting to the 17th.
I agree.
Was that a motion?
I will make that into a motion that we reschedule our August meeting to August 17th.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to move the August 10th meeting to the August 17th meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We'll move on to our unfinished business, update on the Lakeshore disposition of assets, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Really, it was my intent to do this in writing. I just simply didn't get to it. So first of all, we have our Meridian partners here with us. It's good to see them. I don't get to deal with Lauren much anymore. I'm having to deal with the facilities director. He is a lot rougher on me than Lauren was. That's okay. And I'm sure they're here because right now I have their hospital in a mess. But we're trying to clean it up, but some of this is probably redundant. Let me walk through it with you. I think most all of you are aware that the authority no longer has a facilities director. Dwayne has left. He's no longer employed by the authority. And that position, of course, is not to be filled. Okay. Now, having said that, one thing that has happened at the hospital that is of tremendous help is Meridian has put a temporary roof on the one roof that was given all the problems. Now, to remind everybody, there's 21 roofs at that hospital. One was causing 90% of the problem. And Meridian has already hired a company and they've put a temporary roof on. So we hope that any of those previous leaks are greatly slowed down. Now, I think I had already told you that based on your wishes, the inventory that was, of course, going to Meridian, they have long since come in, identified what they wanted to go with the building. That was part of the transfer. That was done. Florida Gateway College was the beneficiary of some equipment gifting. That is complete. The nursing programs at CHS and Fort White were beneficiaries for their programs. that is complete. So now we're down to really two things, but they're kind of major. One is all the, what I call actual hospital equipment, those monitors, those beds, all that kind of stuff. You wanted us to try and identify third-party used hospital equipment providers. Otherwise, if it went in a general auction, it would just be sold as scrap. We've identified a group of people who deal in just that. And now we're trying to segregate the equipment, get it all in one location where we can dispose of that through a legal means available to us. Now, the building is 4 stories. There's one operable elevator in the building. So what ends up happening is 4th, 3rd, 2nd floor, all that inventory at some point has got to come down. There's no other way to do it. And so we're trying to get inventory from those floors down to the 1st floor, and at the 1st floor separated into just general office equipment, furnishings, all these monitors that were left, all that kind of stuff will be going in that auction. And then the hospital equipment will be going in a separate auction. It's been difficult to do that. It's been difficult to do it. We've been using, day labor that we hire through various entities. Now, I don't know if Lauren knows it, but I did speak with Amanda about the possibility of using their new facility director to kind of oversee employees that we would hire through like labor finders. And hopefully we can have that meeting pretty soon, and maybe that'll help speed that along. Because if we hire people and put them over there, we have to supervise them. We cannot use inmate labor, that's out. So we're pretty much using, hourly labor that we can find. So we're doing those things. I think most of you are probably aware that our own office has now moved. We are not in the same spot we were. We are now on the west end of the building with our entrance facing the health department. We thought we were going to end up in this building, but we ended up there. We like being there. And we really want to give a shout out to Judge Olin for helping with that. That is space for the court administrator, but she kind of made arrangements where what that space was going to be used for could be delayed, where we could use that space. And we hope that we're going to move into the new primary care center or have an office in the primary care center when it's complete. So that would be the goal and the plan. So we've moved our offices, other end of the building. Mine looks pretty organized. Sonia's does not, but she's coming along. She's coming along, and we're thankful to be there. Carl has helped us with all of the IT stuff, getting us hooked back up. We honestly thought it would take a day or two. We were almost completely out of communication last week. We've had some troubles, we've had some difficulties, but I think those are now behind us. And let me see, did I miss anything? I need time.
We're organizing you, but that's all.
Okay. Sonia wants you to know she has more to stress and organized than me. That would be true. That would be true. But that's kind of where we're at. We gotta speed things up. I know Meridian wants their building, they want our stuff out of there, they don't wanna deal with it. We gotta speed things up, get it going. Very much aware of that. Hopefully we can come up with a plan to do exactly that very, very soon. On your next agenda, there is another request for some inventory. I have, as somebody connected with UF. I just simply put it on the next agenda. It was not something that I could honor on my own. So we're still getting those kinds of requests for, donations. I think, well, unless you've got questions, that's pretty much an update.
Any public comments?
During the last move, when Jack Berry was around, a lot of the old records were, destroyed. He gave no explanation. Sonia's familiar with what needs to be, all the old minutes, but, the original minutes were just trash somewhere. So we need to make sure by statute, those minutes have to be kept, but I think Sonia's well aware of what's in the file cabinet. I don't know what was in the little secret room. But all the old minutes have to be kept.
Well, it's a shame we can't tell you what was in the secret one.
That's good.
Well,
I like that.
Yeah, we ever find this secret?
All the records
That you've been responsible
were
for.
properly accounted for, and we've not destroyed any of it.
Well, cause he got rid of all the stuff.
Well, I can't speak for what may have happened in the past, but I can speak for what happened in this meeting.
Well, good.
We did.
Where do you want it from?
Did y'all have anything on this one? Any public comment?
No. I just came in person because it's been so long, so.
Or say hi.
It's good to see you. See you, bro.
Good to see you.
Come get out in the air conditioning, the air conditioning working in the hospital.
So we were by there first, we're like, let's go here. We're happy to work out a plan, certainly on our new person assisting supervision of staff, in transition, whatever we need to do.
Big help to me, it really is a big help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are things progressing okay as far as,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you
I'd love to hear a little update.
Certainly. We, as I think Dale already mentioned, we did get the temporary roof on the one roof that had the most, the most issues with water intrusion. So that just finished last Friday. And already even halfway through, there was a big storm and no water came in. So we're really pleased with that, especially as we enter the season. We are working with the architect now and are hoping that the bids for what we're calling phase one will go out in September. That will be for the roof, plural, the roofs and the envelope of the building. But the temporary allowed us to prevent further damage and intrusion on that top floor. So we're going to get that out for the envelope repairs, some of the seals of the windows, and then the roof repairs and replacement. And then we're also simultaneously working on what we're calling phase two, although we expect those to be overlapping. We just know that the bids can get out much sooner for the exterior work than they can for the interior renovations. So we're working right now with the architect on the plans for the interior renovations for floors 1 and 2. So lots of meetings are occurring, lots of discussion, walkthrough. We were out there today, keeping the ball moving. Happy to answer any questions.
Warren has a good staff, they're good to work with.
Oh, well, I'm glad you think so there, we think so, but.
They're knowledgeable.
And we did just hire someone who previously worked at the hospital building, Randy. He worked there for many years ago. In fact, we saw his name on one of the posters celebrating 15 years on the poster in the elevator. Just kind of an interesting coincidence. But he's back out there, so it's a little bit of a homecoming for him, and he's been on site every single day, helping with the roof, oversight of that project and liaising with the contractors that were doing that, and he'll be out on property, and we're happy to support the work that you all are doing with getting the remaining items that are not going to be conveyed to us out, and he's on site every day to assist.
Thoughts?
No, that sounds great. I just, yeah, Mr. Williams, is there anything your board can do to help assist as far as the?
Work days on Saturday, we can set
Yeah,
aside.
I'll say, I'll supply you the gloves.
I've already got gloves, yeah, I got a hard hat too.
Bring a dolly.
But
It's, y'all be the first to know, honestly, it's just, at this point, it's just, here's the plan, we just need the labor to implement the plan. There is a lot of stuff in that building, a lot of stuff in that building. I don't know what a lot of that is, I really don't. I just know that it's a piece of hospital equipment, I couldn't tell you what it does or doesn't do.
There's a lot.
There's a
Having
lot
walked through the
of-
building many times now, there
Yeah,
is
there's-
stuff in every nook and cranny.
4 operating rooms, look at just the equipment hanging in the ceiling in the operating room, they don't want that. Matter of fact, Amanda, their facilities director, she's made me promise her that you're not gonna leave that for me, are you?
Amanda is,
Ah.
it's very knowledgeable and not afraid to express and ask anything, so she's, but we're very excited about the progress and looking forward to getting the first phase started.
I just want to say thank you for publicly coming and giving us an update. It's
Yeah.
really not required. I mean, I know we've got some, we're gonna help fund some of these projects, but I certainly appreciate the public update. I think that's fantastic and I'm excited to see the progress.
Thank you. I'll continue to give as many updates as you'd like. We're excited about it, so this is a fun thing to, not that the other meetings haven't always been fun and enjoyable, but this one is a fun update to bring and to be able to share the momentum and the progress that we're making, and we're looking forward to getting the project started so the community can see the impact and the transformation of the building itself.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I guess the only other on this issue, Mr. Williams, for you and probably Mr. Kennan, if you might. Help us out on this Lakeshore Hospital Authority monthly review of funds. Is there someplace down here where we can put at the bottom what we know that this board is committed to the current funds to both the projects that we have, that being Meridian and the Palms project, Mr. Williams?
We can,
So that we
matter of
can-
fact, it's, I'm probably close to submitting reimbursements for some of that. Yeah, we prepared and had the auditors approved a reimbursement form for some of the contribution the authorities made. They're spending money, so they're entitled now to start seeking payment for reimbursement for some of that.
Because
And so we can certainly keep a tally of that, and we can show what the total was,
thank you.
that type of thing.
Yeah, because I forget, I remember it's 2 or 2.5 on that project, and then the Palms is closer to $1 million, I think, right?
It was 3 point something million for the renovation.
That would be deducted from the 16 that we currently have. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Can we also, not necessarily every month, but occasionally put in how much we're making off of the investments and the treasury notes and everything as well?
And certainly can. I apologize, I think you've already asked for that once, I forgot. But I only did it the one time, I think what trustee Bill is saying, he'd like to see it on a more regular basis. The idea is the interest that we earn from those investments is what really pays for the authority operation.
I think it's important for the public to be able to see that as well, that
Yeah.
we're not costing.
Correct. How much we're saving not paying the secretary treasurer.
Oh,
Bring
boy.
some cookies, so he'll.
It's that time.
We need to get his
It's that
blood
time.
sugar down.
Just reminding you of the implementing bills.
But I know he's gonna show up for his free air fryer.
That's good. Staff reports in your packets there. Final board member comments, Ms. Chancey. Mr. Kennedy,
None.
Mr. Beal.
I didn't realize that if I'm supposed to announce why I was not able to attend the last meeting 2 weeks ago, it's because I was working at my paid job out of town, and I was not able to come back for the meeting. I apologize. Also, I don't know, I mean, maybe it's a legal definition, but provider, I mean, I don't grow the food my kids aren't old enough to work and pay for their own groceries yet. And I certainly don't grow it, but I do buy the groceries for them. I feel like that's providing, so the argument earlier in the meeting about us not being a provider, I think it could be argued differently. I hate that Emily's not here to give me her thoughts on it, but
Fine point, fine point.
that's all I had.
I'm good. Mr. Bullock?
Good.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
7.